Hello and welcome back to my small little library. I'm getting over cold right now, so if I still sound sniffly and not quite right, it's because of that. Also, if the video is really choppy, I have to cough a lot when I talk, so yeah, this might be a choppy mess, but hopefully it won't be. But yeah, simply because of the fact that I'm still feeling under the weather, I thought we'd do a tech video. I haven't done one in quite some time. I do love to do them, but I feel like they can be overdone really easily, and yeah, so I don't know. But I thought, I don't know, it's kind of fitting. Fall is finally here. Today is the first day that feels a lot colder out. I can finally wear my warm jumpers again. So yeah, I'm getting into the fall and autumn season actually. And so yeah, why not do the cozy autumn book tag? This tag was originally done by the book Belle. So I'm gonna link her video, blog entry, whatever down below. I found it on another blog. I'm gonna link that blog also down below because I really like the way the blog is done. So yeah, I will link that as well just to give her credit because I found the tag on her blog and not the original tag. But yeah, so if you do want to do the tag as well, feel free to do it. I'm gonna tag everyone who wants to be tagged. So yeah, let's start with the first question. What book always reminds you of fall and autumn? And for me, there are three books that I kind of connect with the fall, though I don't think they might be the typical ones, but the first one for me is Dracula. This one, because of the traveling, the castle, and also because a lot of it, you know, it has this really the book just has the mood of autumn for me. For me, it's like a little bit of like a time where you go a little bit slower, you aren't really like down or depressed, you know, but it's more of a melancholy time, at least for me. Fall is that I love fall, but yeah, for me it feels a little bit more on the like melancholy side of things, and for me Dracula really represents that feeling. Also, obviously it's a spooky book, or as spooky as like a historical book can be, but for me this is like the epitome of spooky stories for fall, and I just love Dracula. I love the story, I love the way the story is told. Yeah, the ultimate vampire book for me, and the original one. It isn't really, but yeah, I just love this one. I love the edition that I own of it, this grey with like dark grey flowers on it, which I don't know, I think it's quite fitting for fall, because here in Germany fall can be really grey and it doesn't necessarily has all the pretty colors it has everywhere else. We do have the pretty colors, but it's still really grey a lot of the times, and I am actually looking forward to the grey days where I can stay inside and read a book, and so this one would be one of them. The next one also has like this fall feeling for me, and that is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. This is also kind of a tragic book, but it's also a magical book, and the journey of a boy and the man he becomes and all he goes through. And so yeah, I don't know, I kind of feel like this would be a great fall read if you don't want to read something spooky, but still something that has kind of this feeling of looking back, you know, of mourning something, but also of finding better things. And I kind of feel like fall is that. And then we have the last one, and this one I think actually plays out in summer, but this is The City of Dreaming Books, or Die Stadt der träumenden Bücher, is the original title in German by Walter Mörs. One of my all-time favorite books. I read this first when I was a teen, I think, and it's obviously full of books, and for me fall is really this season to read where you know, sit inside with a warm drink, or cold drink in my case, and you just, you know, snuggle up with a blanket and read. And this one is an adventure about books and reading and all of that, and so that for me is actually really fall. So yeah, these might maybe not be the typical fall books. I don't really have many books that play out in seasons or anything like that, or like, you know, the fantasies that are more like seasonal books. I don't really own any of those, so my book choices might be a little bit more out there, but you know, those scream fall to me, so here they are. Then, question number 2. This one was a little bit harder. What is your favorite autumnal book cover? And I have to be honest, I don't own that many aesthetic books. I get books now, so I have a few that look really, really nice, but a lot of my books are like, you know, the library collector's editions from Terry Pratchett, for example, or like paperbacks, used paperbacks, and a lot of them just don't look that pretty, so I had a hard time choosing some. And I have to be honest, I read 2 or 3 of these, but yeah, these are a little bit more fall-y for me. Here we have this really nice, like, foggy forest scene with a lot of like, I don't think they're supposed to be fireworks, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't read this book yet, so I can't tell you anything about the book. But yeah, I kind of feel like it looks a little bit fall-y, autumny. Then we have Emily Wyer's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Really liked this book. I really enjoyed it, and it plays out more in like a wintry setting. But for me, the colors kind of speak fall. Also, I just love purple and blue together. Maybe, even though that isn't what I wanted, but you know. But yeah, for me, this one kind of also talks fall. And then the one I think screams fall the loudest is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. I really, really liked this book, was really surprised because I didn't expect to like this book. And for me, just the color theme and the flowers really, really scream fall to me. Dark flowers, mysterious flowers, and yeah, great book if you want to read it. So yeah, but I have to be honest, I just don't really own any alternatives that look like anything much, if I'm honest. Then, question number 3, what is your favorite autumnal drink to read with? And I have to be completely honest, I cannot drink a lot of the typical autumnal drinks. I am fructose intolerant, so I cannot have sugar, or like most sugars, anything with fructose in it, which is a lot. So that means that I also really don't drink all of those typical drinks. I just prefer my sugar-free energy drinks. If I'm honest, I would kill for a great hot chocolate. Last year I did drink pumpkin spice hot chocolate in Starbucks, and it's the only type of that thing I've ever drunk, but it tasted so good. But I have to take some medication for that to be able to drink that, and even then it's on shaky grounds. So I don't do that often, but I do enjoy pumpkin spice. It tastes great. I don't know. I don't get why people are always so angry about that. But yeah, I don't drink that, so I don't really have a favorite drink. I do drink tea now and then. Nice mint tea is nice, but to be honest, I don't think that's a particularly autumnal drink. So yeah, I don't really drink any autumnal drinks because I can't really. So yeah, if you can't drink them, drink one for me, you know. Question number 4. Do you prefer to read late at night or early in the morning? And I absolutely prefer to read early in the morning. I tend to get up really, really early because of some medication I have to take. So yeah, on weekends I also get up early. I don't sleep in, even though I technically could sleep in a little bit more. But I love it to get up at 4 in the morning on a Sunday or on a Saturday and just sit down for 3 hours straight and just read. Because the world is really, really silent at that time. Nobody wants to be up at that time, except for people like me. And I just love sitting down and reading, being bothered by nobody. Not that my partner really bothers me if I want to read. He is really careful of that. But yeah, it's just so silent, and you get to see the sun come up, especially this time of year. and I love that. So yeah, you will probably never see me read late at night. I'm a really early morning person. Question number 5. Halloween is coming. What is your favorite spooky read? And I picked a few. I have quite a few favorites right now. It's getting bigger and bigger, the list, but I picked a few that I really, really like. But I did only allow myself to pick one Stephen King book because, to be honest, I could tell you 10 Stephen King books that are favorite spooky reads, but that's not really that helpful, you know. So yeah, I picked this time around, I picked Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Love that book. Cannot wait for the movie to come out. Vampires, spooky, haunted houses. It's amazing. I love this book. So yeah, if you want to read like one really big spooky book this season and you haven't yet read Salem's Lot, you should, because it's amazing. I don't know. I love Stephen King's horror books. Just have to be honest about that. Then the next one I really, really enjoy is a different kind of horror, which is mermaid horror, and that is Into the Drowning Deep by Myra Grant, or Mira Grant, I'm not sure. There is also a prequel, I forgot the name of it, but that is also amazing. But yeah, this is mermaid horror. I'm not gonna say much more about it. It is amazing. I love this book so much. It's a great read. I reread it a few times by now and it's still as spooky as ever, which, to be honest, just amazing. Then we have a classic spooky story, and that is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, my favorite haunted house story. I don't think much comes close to this one. Also, it's a quick read, so if you want to have like, you know, a spooky 2 hours in the afternoon, go with this one. Yeah, I wish I had a prettier version, to be honest. I'm really not a fan of this version, so I will probably pick up a prettier one sometime in the future. If I can, secondhand, because there are a lot of really nice older copies out there of like Spooky Story, Susan Hill. You can also get really, really pretty old copies, so yeah, I will probably look for that. And then, even though this isn't one of my best rated ones, I think it's just perfect for the season, and that is Clown in a Cornfield. It starts really cringy, corny, high schooly, you know, like typical high school film, and then it turns into a slasher, which I loved. I mean, it's great. It's a lot of fun. I'm just not a big fan of like this high school movie type of stuff, but I could look beyond that. Once like the horror starts and it's like really slasher movie-ish. So yeah, I really love that. Looking forward to part 2 because I think there's part 2 coming. But yeah, it's amazing. I don't know. I hadn't had the highest expectations. Took me 2 tries to read it because I couldn't get beyond the beginning at the first time around. And the second time around I was like, no, you can. And I ended up loving it. So in my opinion, really amazing. But yeah, I think it feels a lot different than other horror books just because it feels so slasher movie-ish. But I don't have a lot of horror books that feel like that. So yeah, that is why I'm talking about it now. Even though I know it's a popular book, you know. You probably already know it, but yeah, for me it's one of my favorites. Then we're coming to question number 6. What is your ultimate comfort read? And I picked a few ones for that. I do have my typical comfort reads. These are all fantasy, because I'm a fantasy girly. But yeah, let's get over with the first one, just because I don't want to talk too long about it. Harry Potter, for me, they are comfort reads. I grew up with that. And as much as I hate talking about them, just because of obviously all of the things that surround the author, I just, you know, I grew up with these books. I just cannot hate the books because the author does things I don't agree with. And so yeah, I still love these. I still reread these pretty often. These were my comfort reads all throughout school. So yeah, I just cannot part with them. And it is what it is, you know. I just cannot hate the books because I don't enjoy the author that much anymore. But yeah, Harry Potter. All of them, but that was the first one. I don't own a complete set because I just never, you know, I had like different versions of them. I only complete German set, but obviously now I read them in English. And okay, and then we have Children of Time. I just love the concept of the sci-fi book. It's by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I love it. For me, this is my ultimate favorite sci-fi. It is what it is. Yeah, it's a book about spiders. And I love the whole series, but the first one especially is really comforting to read just because I enjoy these stories so much. And it's an amazing sci-fi story. Portia, love her. And then, are you surprised? Probably not. The Hobbit. I go back to this book so often. I love Tolkien. I love this whole series, but obviously I don't want to always reread a complete series, all 3 of the books. So I go back to The Hobbit again and again and again because it's amazing, and you cannot tell me otherwise. It's just, I don't know. I love it. What can I say? It's the ultimate fantasy. I'm sorry. I'm really basic like that. But yeah, I don't know. I love them. I love all the movies. I love the audiobooks. I love to go back to the audiobooks and listen to like portions of them. They just calm me down. They get me into a different mindset, and I just feel so much better if I read The Hobbit. So yeah, if I had to only choose one, The Hobbit I think would be my ultimate comfort read. Which probably says a lot about my personality, but I'm gonna glance over that. Sorry, my voice is suffering again from talking, but we will make it through the video. Then comes the next question that is a bit more harder for me, and that is number 7. What is your favorite autumnal reading snack? And obviously, I have a lot of limitations with what I can read. Most of the stuff that I want to read, most of the things I can't eat because they have too much sugar. But if I have an ideal day and I take some special medication and I can at least eat some sugar, I have to say I'm a big gingerbread fan. I don't know if you have those things, because obviously I live in Germany, and Christmas fall snacks, they are really different. But yeah, here in Germany they start putting out Christmas snacks in August, and I love it. I have to be honest. And one that I really like are Domino Steine, or dominoes, kind of, like the game. And they are little chocolate, jello, and marzipan stacked on top of another. They taste amazing. I don't know if you have those. If you do, I will put just the name here, I think. And then, we have Gewürzspekulatius. I have no idea what the name in English would be. I'm gonna put it here. Love that. I cannot eat any of those on any kind of a regular basis, but I love them. And the last one are gingerbread stuff, but they are coated in chocolate and in forms of hearts and pretzels and stuff. And they taste amazing. I love those. So as soon as I can get them, I get me one, and then I can eat maybe half of one to one on a day. And I will feel it the next day. I won't feel great the next day, but they taste amazing. So sometimes I just do that. But yeah, for me, Christmas snacks are actually my favorite fall snacks because I love Christmas snacks. Even though I can't eat them. Sometimes I do. Also, what feels kind of fally or autumnal, what feels kind of autumnal for me are cinnamon rolls. I make them myself with dextrose so that I can eat them, and they taste amazing. But these feel really autumnal to me because I never do them in the summer because I love to eat them hot, and I don't really like hot baked things in the summer. Question number 8. What is your favorite autumnal candle to burn? And I'm not actually that much of a candle burner, primarily because I'm definitely afraid that I will not put it out. But I do enjoy myself a vanilla candle, I have to be honest. And everything that smells sweet, actually, that isn't fruit. I'm not much of a fruit person. Obviously, I can't eat most fruits, but yeah, I'm also smell. When it comes to smell, I'm not much of a fruit person, but like sweetish candles that smell like baked goods and stuff, love those. But yeah, I don't actually often burn them because yeah, I'm definitely afraid I'm not gonna put them out. Question number 9. When you're not reading, what is your favorite autumnal activity? That is a hard one. I'm not that much of an active person. I'm a homebody, if I'm honest. I love baking, but it doesn't make sense to bake for me at the moment because my stomach can't handle that actually. So I haven't baked in a long time, but I love baking, and that is what I would normally do if I could at the moment. Other than that, I found needlework for myself to be quite an enjoyable hobby. Crocheting and knitting. Love those. Obviously, they make a lot of sense to do in the fall because but especially with knitting, you make a lot of like warmer garments. So yeah, love that. And yeah, spooky games. Obviously, I'm an avid video gamer. Love myself the video games. I grew up with them since my birth. We always had a couple of consoles in the home. So yeah, that is just like a really big part of my life. And when it comes to like autumnal seasons, I love farming sims. Cannot beat those, to be honest, and like slightly spooky games. If they are too spooky, I'm too afraid of the games, but slightly spooky really scratches the itch. So yeah, gaming, big hobby of mine. And then we are already at the last question, and that is question number 10. What is on your autumnal reading list this time around? And yeah, let me get those up. Okay, the perspective has changed slightly because my dog just ran full force into the camera, but yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that now. Yeah, I have a few books that I want to read. None of them are specifically autumnal, I think, but you know. One of them is This Golden Flame, which this one actually kind of also screams autumn to me, but yeah, the gold with the red kind of feels like leaves on a tree. But yeah, no idea what this is about, but it has been so long on my TBR that I decided I need to read it this fall. Then we have one I just received recently. I love the look of this book, and that is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, which is about an author and two people who kind of want to find out more about the author, and there's fantasy in there. So yeah, looking forward to this one. And then, because it is spooky season, obviously autumn is always spooky season, we have The Pet and Charmed Life, two used spooky books I picked up, and I really want to read those because they sound really, really interesting. This one, a guy loses his family to an accident, and he goes to a town to mourn there, and his family just comes back from the dead, seemingly. So yeah. And then this one, The Pet, we have a small boy who talks to his pets, and then they take things into their own hands. And yeah, that is all for the autumnal book tag. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the video was watchable. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe leave a like, subscribe. Leave in the comments down below your favorite books for the spooky season, because I always need more, especially since my birthday is this month, so I'm gonna buy some spooky books for my birthday. But yeah, please leave those down below, and yeah, I will see you hopefully in the next video. Bye!